Hey everyone, Brian back here with my monthly opinions for June, mid-June and early July of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book. Now, as you just heard, I did my review on the issue 201. Now, I will say that both my reviews, my two-part review, and these opinions will not just be on the BW Roses channel, but will be on the BW Roses 98 channel as well. Now, getting into my opinions. As I mentioned at the end of my review, I have to say that Ian is doing a great job with this entire new era of villains from the Iron Domain and Dragon Kingdom, or whatever you want to call them. Because it seems to me that the direction that Ian is going with these villains is trying to make them look like they're a step ahead of the competition, a step ahead of the heroes. I mean, when was the last time you ever seen a comic book like this where the villains always seem to be a step ahead of the heroes? It seems that the Iron Queen and Snively have been expecting these kind of ramifications and things taking place. So overall, I think Ian is definitely taking us in the right direction with this kind of storyline. Um, you know, like I said at the end of my review, and I want to get more into this. I definitely see a lot of revelations coming out of this. I mean, we're going to hear things about people's past that we've never heard before. I mean, we're going to deal with things that we never thought we'd deal with. I mean, if we look at the preview covers of upcoming issues, it's like this is something that is definitely worth the wait. It's definitely worth, you know, subscribing or buying the comic. I mean, it's something that you want to, just sink your teeth into because it's so good. But it's just something that I think like I said at the end of my review, it's something like it's definitely a ride you look forward to because Ian is taking us on a ride that we're not going to forget. Now, as I mentioned, as I mentioned in my review, I don't know why I mentioned this. Oh yeah, I did mention Kahn, Monkey Kahn, seemed to be intrigued by the fact that Sonic and Sally are no longer a couple. Now, I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I did. I think I said I was going to mention this in my opinions. I don't know if I did. But it seems he's intrigued by this. Now, I want to ensure everybody that I, as a fan, truly believe that Ian is not going to do something with Monkey Kong and Sally. There is no way he's going to do anything like that. I mean, I'm sure Ian earlier this year was teasing around the fact that he was going to give Sally a new love interest. But Monkey Kong? I mean, come on. There is no way that's going to happen, especially after what we saw in 199, that one little scene where Sally's telling Sonic to be careful. And then what about the issues where where Sally and Sonic almost kiss? I mean, come on. I mean, let's face facts. Ian is not going to do that. There ain't no way. I mean, remember what I said in my video and in what I said on the Mobius forum about him turning Bunnie traitor? That would be like Ian trying. That would be like an equivalent to Ken killing off Sally in Endgame. Same thing here. If he was to hook her up with Monkey Kong, there'd be a lot of fans that would be pissed off at that because there's a majority of the fans that don't like Monkey Kong, and there's a majority that do, but there's a huge majority that don't. So if that was to happen, you would be basically he'd be giving the middle finger to a lot of fans. It's not going to happen. Why? Because what would it do to 30 years, 25, 30 years later storyline? Probably not much, but still, you cannot allow something like that to happen even if you want to try to intrigue everybody. It cannot happen. Now, as far as the Dark Legion goes in these storylines, it seems that Dimitri although he's accepted the fact that the microchip will help disable the bombs, or so we think, because Snively calls him a poor trusting fool. Something tells me Dimitri's going to have something up his sleeve that's going to help him get equal power to that of Regina the Iron Queen and Snively. That's just my thought. And one of the things I think might happen is he might reveal to the Iron King what's going on. Overall, I think that, for the next, I don't know how many issues this whole Iron Domain Dragon Kingdom deal is going to take place. But overall, I think Ian is definitely setting us up for the biggest ride of our lives, as I mentioned earlier. And for 225, I think he's definitely going to give us a climactic 225 that we're never going to forget. I truly, truly believe that. And as I said with my video on the Bunnie Rabbot situation, that's not going to last long, because as we read in upcoming previews for upcoming issues, she's going to be okay, she's going to be fine. Especially if you look at Sonic Universe, and I want to get into that now. There are some people that don't like the fact that the Mobius Years Later storyline is coming back, but there's a majority of fans that like it, as well as I do. Because there's a lot of things about it that we're finally going to get to see. First of all, one of the main things we'll get to see finally is the future Freedom Fighters. Now, apparently, as we see in the cover of issue 8, it's not the Freedom Fighters that we know. It's actually the new generation of Freedom Fighters. That's right, the new generation. In other words, we got the kids of Vector in there. We got Antoine and Bunny's son and daughter. We got Tails and Mina's son and daughter. We got Lala Sue in there. I mean, my God. Who would have thought that was possible? But overall, I think that even though it's in 4 parts, I think the 30 years later storyline is going to probably definitely help out the Sonic Universe comic, despite what you may think. I think with its intriguing storylines of Lena Da in there, King Shadow return, things like that. And speaking of Lena Da, some people are saying we're finally going to find out what happened behind her father's disappearance. I guess we'll finally get to see more about it. Like I said, it's part of the revelations that are finally being revealed. But overall, I have to say that the comic is going in the right direction right now, despite what others may think. Some are saying that the comic may not last much longer. Well, you know what? I think it's going to last long enough to be the longest running modern day comic in history. That's what I believe. And that's all I have to say in my monthly opinions for mid-June, early July 2009 on the Sonic the Hedgehog comic books. I hope you enjoyed them. If you got any comments, just let me know. I will get back to you if I can. Until next time, though, I'm Brian saying thank you for all your support. Hope you enjoyed this little opinions of mine. And until next time, God bless, take care, and I will talk to you all later.